Shalom, welcome to Attitude of Gratitude, day number 11. So, I hope that you guys have been doing a great job on your journey of Attitude of Gratitude. I hope that you have seen some improvement in these last 11 days. Well, technically, it's been 12, so I got to get day 12 out today before the end of the day. I was supposed to do this one yesterday. So, the 5 things that I'm grateful for today. So, one of the things I'm grateful for today is tenacity. So, tenacity, what is tenacity? It is not giving up. Just not giving up on anything that you set your mind to, not giving up. Just keep pushing forward no matter what. So, I'm going to tell you guys an instance of where I used tenacity, and it actually ended up being such a blessing. So, I had auditioned for this play, and when I landed a lead role in the play, but I landed the understudy of the lead role. So if anybody knows what the understudy does, the understudy is the person who, if at all something happens to the person who is in that lead position, then you jump in and you take their place. So it's like being backup to the person that was the main character. So even we practiced for a while for a play. You practice a while before you actually do the production. So you could be practicing anywhere from 4 months or greater before the actual performance of the actual play. So I was going to rehearsals like every day, going to sitting on the side, watching the person who was actually in that lead role play the lead role in the rehearsal. In rehearsal, I was able to go over the songs because it was a play where you sung. I don't know if we did a couple of dances and actually the script. So I was able to go in with a music coach and practice the songs in the event that I would need to sing a couple of the songs during the play. And then I actually sat on the side and watched this person actually act it out in the rehearsals and leading up to the production. So I was always at rehearsal but not actually doing the part except for practicing the singing. As time went forward, it came down to like the last 10 days before the play. And so I came up to the director and I was like, hey, so will I get the opportunity to actually do the role during the run of the show? And so he was like, well, you're the understudy. I was like, okay, so is that a yes? Is that a no? He was like, yeah, well, we won't need you to actually act the role unless the person who's in the lead role who actually has the part isn't able to be here, then you'll be able to do it. I was like, well, can I at least just do one night since I learned all the lines and I've been rehearsing? He's like, well, I don't think so. So I said, okay, in this time, I was still showing up for myself, showing up to the practice, showing up to the rehearsals. And so it got down to like maybe 6 days, 6 or 7 days before the actual production. And so at that time, he's like, do you know your lines? I was like, yeah, I know the lines. He was like, well, we had a new printout. Did you learn those? I was like, I didn't get the new printout of the new lines, but I know my lines. So he's like, well, I want you to run through right quick. We're going to run through the whole play and I want to see how you do with it. So I did it. And so then he was like, oh, I didn't even realize you knew all the lines. I'm like, yes. And so he gave me the edits and told me to do it. And then later he told me, he said, well, we're going to move you up to actual the lead role and you're actually going to play in the play all the nights of the run of the show. And I was like, wow. So, I was wondering like what made them make that decision. They said the person who was the lead of that, whose part it was actually having some issues at home and they weren't able to go ahead and do the production. And I ended up doing the lead role. I ended up doing the full run of the production, which did the I did the part every night of the run of the show. And so I just thank God for having tenacity in that situation because I know that just the way it looked as if I was sitting there learning this information, I was sitting there practicing these songs, I was sitting there being at all the rehearsals, and then, by the time it was time to do the production, I would not have even been in the play. I would just been like a little credit at the end, like, yeah, and to the person I would have came out on stage and bowed, basically, the understudy. And I was actually able to play the role in which I was the understudy of because of my tenacity. I still showed up for myself. I still showed up to rehearsals. I still learned the information. I still practiced. And then the opportunity arose where I could actually do the thing that I came to do. So I thank God for just having the tenacity when it comes to that, not giving up on something just because it doesn't look as if it's going to turn out um, of what my expectation was. So I thank God for that. The next thing I thank God for is determination. Being determined to complete a thing or do a thing, being determined, not giving up on myself, not giving up on the process, knowing that it is a process in everything that we do, and you're not going to be perfect at everything that you do when you first start off, but just being determined and sticking with stuff and saying, you know what, even though it's not what I want it to be right now, I'm still going to do this thing until it gets to where I want it to be or it gets better than what it is now. So just being able to be in that space and do that thing the way that that it's supposed to be done until I get there, until I reach the goal. And I thank God for confidence. So I'm gonna tell you guys a little story about my confidence later. I'll tell you guys about that. But yeah, just I thank God for having confidence in myself, believing in myself enough to move forward because a lot of times we wait for somebody else to believe in us enough to push us to do things. And sometimes we need that self-motivation, that self-confidence to help us to go ahead and step out on faith and do a thing, do whatever it takes to reach a goal. And when I say whatever it takes, I mean in a positive way. I mean in a righteous way. I mean in, a way that you would want someone to be to you when you're going out to reach a goal, making sure that you're not burning bridges and stepping on others in order to achieve a goal, but actually going out and putting the work in to get that goal checked off on the list and saying, like, I really stuck with it until I met that goal. I did that thing. And the next thing I am grateful for is trusting the process. Everything is a process. When you first start, like one time I went in and I really wanted to learn how to do this the punching bag at the boxing gym, and I really wanted to learn how to do it. So somebody was like, "Okay, I'll show you." They were going to show me how to get started. They was telling me just to start, working with it, and I was so frustrated. And it was like my very first time doing it, and I expected to be hitting that bag, like the speed bag, just like a professional boxer. In the first time that I did it, and it was just like exercise, trusting the process. That when you first start doing something, and now I'm on a new journey of doing something new and trusting the process of when I first do it, like the first 5 to 10 times, it won't be as sweet as the 100th or the 150th time. Then I should start to see the progress in myself. And I know that's what takes place is that you'll start to see the progress as you trust the process of what it takes in order to reach a goal. The small steps that it takes, the mile markers that it takes for you to get there. So those little things that indicate that you're seeing progress and that you're going forward towards your goal. So trust in the process. And it should be some checkpoints or some things that you can check off on the list or some things that you should see or feel during that time when you're trusting the process of knowing that you're progressing towards that goal when you trust in the process. The next thing I'm grateful for is putting in the work. So I'm grateful for being able to put the work in. So a lot of times we're not able to put the work in for the things that we want to do, and it takes some time for us to do those things. So I thank God for putting in the work. So the ability to be able to put in the work, because a lot of times we want to do a thing and we have some restrictions, so we aren't able to do it. So now I thank God for being able to put the work in, having the ability to put the work in, and actually staying focused enough to put the work in so that way after I've put the work in, I can have a measuring tool for what was the progress, what are some things I want to change, what was the shift, how did it work, was the goal met? So just something to measure with at that point, something to use as a measurement. Okay, what would I change about this? What is some things that I can look at where I can make it better? what are some things that I could have tweaked. So just learning that even in this journey of what I'm looking to do and how I'm looking to develop, this is helping me to be able to develop into a better person. This is helping me to be able to be in front of an audience. And this is helping me to be able to grow myself up to be a better speaker, to be a better teacher. So I thank God for the opportunity to be able to just step out on faith and believe and put myself in those uncomfortable positions so that growth can take place. So I'm grateful for those things. What are you grateful for today? What are those things that you woke up this morning, you said, Lord, I am grateful for this. I am so grateful to my creator for this. I'm glad that I'm putting in this work. What are those things that you've changed about yourself? And it could have been in the last 30 days. It could have been in the last 60 days. It could have been in the last 6 hours. What are those things that you committed to yourself that you're going to change to make yourself a better version of you? So it's you yesterday compared to you today. Not somebody else compared to you. You yesterday compared to you today. What are those things that you're going to put the work in to be a better version of you? Where do you want to be in the next 5 years? And what will it take for you to get there? What work will you have to start putting in today so that you can be the best version of you in the next 6 months, in the next year, in the next 5 years, and reach those goals? So, whatever that is, list those 5 things you're grateful for today. Share with us what you're grateful for today. We're practicing our attitude of gratitude. We are on day 11. Yes, I owe you guys one more. So if we were doing push-ups and I'm gonna pay it forward. I'm gonna put it in. I'm gonna get the work in. So thank you guys for joining me on the attitude of gratitude journey, on this self-care, just sharing a part of my self-care, what I'm doing, and I'll be sharing a little bit more so that you guys can grow with me. So it doesn't make sense to be growing and not take some people with you, not help some other people out. Encouragement is key. So encourage them to actually be a better version of them and put the work in to better themselves. So I love you guys. I hope that you have a great day. And I know if you are out in the Midwest, you may have some snow your way. I heard Atlanta got some snow too. So whatever you do, if you go out there and do it, I ask that you not be ashy while you do it. Get your ash out of here and cop you some hand cracks, Stacy. I'm getting kind of low, so I know I'm about to do another batch. So make sure you get some of this batch before it's gone. You want to make sure you go ahead and place your order so you can get your hand crack, get your ash out of here, and go ahead and order your hand crack today. And we would be delighted to help you achieve that smooth, soft, silky, and supple skin. We do not want you to be out here ashy. I love you. I hope that you have a great day. And until next time, let us know those 5 things you are grateful for as we practice our attitude of gratitude, 30 days of attitude of gratitude. And we're going to see how much we have grown in those 30 days. So thanks for sharing this time with me. Have a great day. Shalom.